Okay, so I've basically redone my Tricopter. Unfortunately, today when I was flying my old Y-Copter, I flipped it over into the ground and it broke a whole bunch of stuff to the point where I couldn't put it back together without redoing the whole thing. So I thought it was a good idea to start over. So I did. I have more of a Tricopter angle now. It's not a Y-Copter angle. Before I had something like this. And self-level would not work. No matter what setting that I changed, the gains and such, it would still do this whenever it would come down. Granted, if there's wind, it's gonna, but I mean, it would do this very steadily, and it was kind of almost frightening because I didn't want the thing to spaz out. That was the other thing. With self-level, if I would snap it one way or the other, it would go like this, try to compensate, and basically flip itself over. Well, with this, it shouldn't do that. I haven't actually test flown it yet. I just got done putting it together again. Things that I've changed on this is obviously now it looks like a Tricopter because of the angles. The frame is now a triangle, which cut down on weight. Granted, I have these pegs on top so that nothing can, well, hopefully nothing can really smash the board anymore. So the weight really isn't any lighter than it was before. I've done nothing to the rear tail setup. I'm still running the airtronics full-size analog servo. I'm still running my little push pin slash control arm deal there. It's all super glued on there just like before. It's been really dependable. And I've put a low voltage alarm on here, which I got from eBay for about $3 or $4. You can use this as a very simple cell checker, but you only get voltage, you won't get percentages. So it's very cheap for that. But it works. I just had to play around with the settings before. It was shutting off way too late. The percentage of the cell life was really bad. But it does work, and it is loud. I would say it's definitely worth the money. I do have the KK2 board, but I have no knowledge of how the low voltage alarm works on this. And judging by all the videos that I've watched, there's just a little port you solder on this board, and you solder that to positive and something else to negative. The only thing with that is you're only going to get all cell, whatever the battery voltage is, not what each cell is. With this alarm, if you set it at 3.5 or 3.6 volts, whatever cell hits 3.5 or 6 volts, it will start beeping. Whereas this one will just take the collective voltage and then it'll give you an alarm. But other than that, I've test flown it for maybe a max of, I don't know, less than a minute, and I'm already impressed with it as far as stability is concerned and everything else. I mean, like I said, there's nothing really else that I changed. I do have a battery strap now. On the old model, I had no space in between all the booms whenever they joined together in the middle of the frame. I still have the same bolts, only I have them set up a little differently. Well, the holes are drilled differently because the angles are different. I had to glue a piece of that particle board or double stick tape it on there in between the battery and the frame so that I would not snag those nuts on the back, or in this case the nut on the back. And I've put some Velcro on the front just to kind of hold it up some more. But other than that, on this whole do-over, I managed to get all my holes straight. None of my arms seem to be out further or back further, whatever, than the other ones. The holes I had to drill for the motors are actually right where they need to be. None of them are up against the wood like they were before because I couldn't drill a straight hole. And that's basically it. Other than that, I'm going to be really excited to fly this thing tomorrow and hope for the best. So, yeah, that's about it.